Goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine. Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Connington, joined by my fellow co-hosts and filmmakers, John and Elaine Woolscroft.
What up, party people?
Oh, I see how it is.
You always get the first word. You know, I needed to get in there.
Now I'm just going to shut down the whole episode.
The whole episode's going on.
Ooh.
Diva. So, yeah, we're on episode 82. And this is our final entry into the Christmas sack full of fails.
It's what, the return of the sack?
Oh, it could be that.
The sack struck back.
But this sack struck back, or revenge of the sack, if we're trying to do this like before we get all their marketing out, and then we change it after the fact.
I personally would enjoy the sack awakens. That sounds delicious.
The last sack.
Guys, this could be mistaken for ball sack.
You said that already once.
How dare you?
No, but this is our final entry into the sack full of Christmas fails. This week we're diving straight into the fucking 90s.
So 90s. The hair,
it
the
really
shorts,
is. It really is.
the shoulders.
Yeah.
And shoulder pads.
Yeah.
There was a lot of denim in the 90s, wasn't there?
Oh my gosh, so much acid wash denim too.
Yeah.
It was
did you know, and this is kind of a separate thing, but did you know that Tommy Wiseau sold denim?
Oh, yeah.
That's
apparently how he made his fortune?
That's how he made his fortune.
In denim?
In denims.
He apparently just sold it to...
Fine denims.
Well,
he just sold it to Luke Perry.
Well, it turns out, and you probably know this, that he didn't have any SAG credits, and the only way that he got a SAG credit was by creating his own commercial for his jean company.
Whoa!
Called it was like Street Fashions or some shit like that.
Tell me this commercial is available.
It is on
YouTube.
Consumption. It is on YouTube. I watched it.
Watching it right now.
He says, "To be or not to be," and that is the question. And he does the whole Tommy Wiseau thing.
Well, he sells underwear now too.
That's crazy.
I only bring this up because we may have a special interview coming up that might tie into the room. I can't divulge any more information.
Spoiler alert!
But we're working on something big, and it's going to be awesome.
Brian, we all know that Tommy Wiseau's up in your kitchen eating cheesy poos, waiting to come on the show. Come on in, Tommy.
I would give anything. I would give anything.
No, he's up in James Franco's kitchen eating cheesy poops. Yeah. Okay,
it's true. But anyway, we don't have much of a news bit today, guys. We're gonna dig right into the sack as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I wanted to say was that the FCC voted today, and they did vote to repeal net neutrality. This is bad across the board. We do not want this to happen. This means that the internet will no longer be an entity that is protected and regulated, but rather can be charged for, to the highest bidder. It means your favorite websites will be more expensive. It means that your opinions may be silenced. And it also means that small businesses will get lost in the shuffle because they can't compete with the higher paying, corporate entities that can, pay up for more, for the higher speed services from providers. This really takes a lot of power away from people.
And the big thing too is, especially for people like us who are giving you independent media, everything that we do is self-funded. Okay, we pay for our own hosting.
Wait, this goes out to people?
Yeah, it does.
Oh God, the shit I've said.
and we also don't get paid.
we don't really get any money at all for this period. I mean, we
spend it. We
spend it. We are thinking of doing a Patreon down the line, but honestly, we're not really doing it for any money other than to just cover our hosting costs.
Sure.
So, I mean, to hear that this really just kind of came down to protect maybe, 7 individuals. I mean, that's about it. 7 ISPs that are out there at the expense of, everybody else.
Absolutely. And the countries that do
really
have
hurts.
this absolutely hate it. So, what that means for us guys is that the FCC, they made their vote, but it hasn't gone to Congress yet.
No.
So please, please, please call your senators. Here in Pennsylvania, we have Bob Casey and Pat Toomey. There are a lot of good resources
Pat Toomey
out there.
especially has been bought by the ISPs.
Yeah, and I
go
looked,
to Casey.
a lot of people have, and Casey's very
And
for net neutrality.
specifically in the House, you have Keith Rothfuss, who has been bought.
They
by
showed
the
the list
ISPs.
today, but Pennsylvania is also one of the states that's suing over this because it does infringe on so many rights. But guys, please be heard. Contact your senators. There's a lot of good resources online. I really like ResistBot. It's an app function that helps you write faxes and emails and just sends them right to your senators. It's not hard to find the phone numbers now. Just Google it and just say, who are my senators and what is their phone number? There's lots of centralized phone numbers, but please let your voices be heard and excuse me, please, make sure that the people in charge, they know that they're going to be held accountable for their vote. And if they vote for this, then we're not going to vote for them. So
what is it, 91% of people are against this?
I
but
think
somehow
so.
It's something along those
up
lines.
for Congress to decide. When do we draw the line and say, oh, well, that's just a bad fucking idea?
Well, I think there's a lot that we could say. I don't necessarily think that anything else needs to be said except, this infringes on American rights and you guys should go. And if you like the internet the way it is.
Yeah. The one last point I want to make is just that I know for me, it's been very depressing news. And it's very easy to sink back down and just completely shut down and just say, what the fuck is it worth? But I think the people that want to do us harm are banking on us getting depressed and defeated. And the only way that we can win is if we show them that we are not depressed and defeated, that we will fight back with everything that we have at our disposal, that they can grind us down, but we will not be ground down, that we will continue to fight. And I think that is the one thing that I want to get across to everyone who cares about net neutrality, that cares about independent media, that cares about having the freedom to, I hate to say it, but just do whatever you want to do on the internet.
Absolutely. You guys got to dig deep and to protect
That's just
the things that
one
we
thing I
love,
want to say.
Totally.
So.
Totally.
Enough of that.
Yeah, but that's all I wanted to say. There was some stuff that came out this week, but that was the most important thing. So we will take a short break. We're going to throw it to our frenzies at the Epicast Network. And when we come back, we'll go back to doing what we do best, and that's talking about balls.
Hey, yo, I'm Ed Bailey. I'm here with
Dave Bracey.
And we are the Drinking Partners Podcast on Epicast Network. Fucked it up. Make sure you check us out, man. We got the Comedy Fuel, which is really supposed to be beer fuel comedy podcast, but
Craft Fuel Beer Potter. Craft Beer Fuel Pot. Motherfucker, right, man. I'm gonna have to write that down.
What up? Craft Fuel Beer Podcast.
Yeah, Craft Fuel.
Craft Brew Fuel Pot. Craft Beer Fuel Podcast. Okay. Craft Brew Fuel. Craft Beer Fuel Comedy. Those are not 4 words that you say normally. All right. Craft Brew. You knew that I was going to fuck up. You knew. Craft Beer Fuel Comedy Podcast. All right, so Craft Beer Fuel Comedy Podcast on.
You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us at partnerspod on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn under Drinking Partners.
Yo, if you ain't heard and if you don't know, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. Make sure you check us out, man.
And we're back. That was a message from our friends over the Epicast Network, specifically the Drinking Partners Podcast. Great podcast over there. Definitely check those guys out at epicastnetwork.com.
Now, Lynn, it's a sack. Now, that's the protective, for lack of a better term, sheath that covers the balls. We're not really talking about testes.
Listen, where there's a sack, there's balls, and I'm going to keep digging until I find them.
Well, unless it's Lance Armstrong.
That's true. I mean, he still has fake ones.
Yeah.
Just because they're not real doesn't mean it doesn't have balls.
So are all his Tour de France wins.
Ew.
I was gonna say some along the lines of he's got clickety clackers down there.
No, he has fake trophies because he's a cheater.
If I ever had to lose a nut, I'd want that fake rubber one they can put in there. I don't want like just it just looked like a deflated like stroke old man.
Probably,
down
you'd
there.
probably have to like walk differently because you're used to them.
They're not. Good Lord, they're not that heavy. I got grapefruits. Down.
You know what I would want? I'd want something that makes noises. So every single time I walk, like almost those whistles that if you blow really hard, it was.
No, dude,
Just-
you need you need a jingle ball.
Yeah,
It would
exactly.
just like ring like sleigh bells
Then
every
cats
time you
would
walk.
just come climbing up your leg, and
That's true.
I
That's
hope somebody
upsetting.
just skipped ahead to this part of the podcast.
They're just like, oh, they're talking
Please.
about fucking politics.
Like-
I wonder when the yuck's
everybody's
coming.
not going to skip over this part because we're
Damn it.
tiresome.
Another testicle podcast. It's all it's out there.
God, so many ball jokes.
God.
It's so stupid.
So speaking of ball jokes, our
Yeah.
first little nugget in our sack from the 90s is
A group of dicks.
seriously. And that's
Oh my God, just because they're rich and pretty doesn't mean they're dicks. You guys are so misunderstanding.
Well, I was going to say it was Beverly Hills 90210's Christmas special. What's the specific title of this? We wish you a Walsh's Christmas.
No, it's a Walsh family Christmas.
Season 2.
So-
It's not even about them.
So guys, there is nothing on earth. There is nothing on earth like watching the Christmas special of a show you've not even seen once,
Yeah,
which
see-
I think was the case for everybody.
That's kind of why I picked this, because I thought it would be fascinating, because none of us watched this show.
No, and I mean,
So
I'm
we
certainly
have
familiar with
no
the
idea.
actors. Like, I knew all their real names, but not like their character names, because like some of them will come up and be like, "Oh, that's Brian Austin Green," or "Oh, that's Luke Perry," or whatever. But like, I had no idea who the fuck anybody was, like what their character name was.
I knew them from other things I'd seen
Yeah,
them
of course,
in.
me too.
So the best way to describe him will be Ian is Sharknado, Luke Perry is Riverdale, and Jason Priestley is unemployed.
Either that or
Hey,
Buffy
Jason
the Vampire
Priestley's
Slayer.
a better actor.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Wait, what?
Luke Perry.
Oh, the movie.
Was in,
I
yeah,
was like,
the movie.
what? Yeah,
Luke Perry might be the worst actor I've ever
he might be the worst.
fucking
Like,
seen.
he was like pretty as hell. It was weird to see everybody so young and like. Yeah, so Luke Perry's the dad on Riverdale now, so just let that sink in. Like, that's how old
Well,
he is
Luke Perry
now.
looks like he's trying to do James Dean on Sudafed. You know what I mean?
a little bit. But it's
You're
weird
tearing
because
me apart.
because most of the characters, like, they were shallow as hell, but like they didn't seem like terrible people. Like, his character seemed okay. He was going to
No.
work on Christmas and
Well,
shit.
I guess the way I look at it is they're terrible people in the sense that their problems are the most mundane,
Well, I mean,
like just superficial white
just
person
think-
problems.
Just think
Like
about how different the world was then. I think that's fucking fascinating because what was the year on this? puppy?
91.
91.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're still what? We're still 10 years out from 9/11.
yeah,
That's a decade away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Quick, warn him.
there's like the housing bubble burst, the recession,
first Iraq War.
the whole war is between us and them. So I mean, like, it is a totally different world, kind of, and like this takes place in Beverly Hills. So I mean, they're going to be in like a clouded mindset anyway.
That was the only thing I had was just I'm like, these are the most superficial white person problems of all time.
Well, it's that old adage, like, show better looking, happier, more well dressed people than you, and you'll go out and consume.
And and I will say that there is something to like that California mindset, because
I'm originally from California. Let me tell you something. We don't have that mindset.
Because I mean, I used to, when I worked at a bigger company a couple jobs ago, there were offices here in Pennsylvania and offices in California, and I swear, like, the culture difference was so startling. Even though it was an all American company, things would come in from the other office, and we'd be like, "Oh God, they're just on Cali time," or like they're on Cali, like living that Cali life. Like, it just
We're all
was
neurotic
so
here,
different. It was so different.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been so far removed from California that
You
I
are
really
you
can't
are
say.
definitely a neurotic Yankee like the rest of us.
I think that's also the Jew in me.
Maybe
It's in the DNA.
it's just encoded in your genes.
I like how our UK fans right now, like, how are they just talking about California?
California, yeah.
it's nothing like Manchester.
So so let's dig into this piece of crap because I didn't know who anybody was, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So,
let me reach into my sack and just pull this out.
So anyway, so we start with the character Steve, who's played by Ian Ziering,
The Sharknado. Man. Yeah.
Sharknado.
So he's in New Mexico, and he's been on a bus for 16 hours apparently. And he's giving us some exposition that he's there to look for his birth mother because apparently he was adopted and he didn't. I'm guessing he found this out recently. It was probably a major plot point. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
The bus ride for 16 hours is the pinnacle of white person problems right there.
Well,
you were on a bus. You could afford a bus ride.
Well, no, then he gets.
For 16 fucking hours.
For 16 hours.
I mean, I don't know.
Sorry, bud.
He also chartered a plane on the way home, but we'll talk about that later.
If he had enough money to charter a plane, why didn't he just charter one there?
He was trying to be frugal because he was using his mom's money. Okay, he's a good guy. So anyway, then we go back to Beverly Hills and Brenda, who's played by Shannon Doherty. She's a baby in this. She's so young in this. It's crazy to me to even see her like 10 years before Charmed. I'm like, you are an infant. It was crazy.
Guys, this is 26 years old.
I know. It's so old.
This is before Shannon Doherty could burn every bridge she ever had.
I know. And it's so funny because you hear these horrible stories about her, but she does have a lot of really good friends. And when you see her in this show, she seems so sweet.
Well, she has this line, too, where it's like, oh, I actually made some sales today. I might be able to buy you guys something real nice for Christmas. It's December 23rd. You're going to go buy it tomorrow?
It's weird that she started the job like 2 days before Christmas. I'm not going to lie.
Isn't she like the only person other than Jason Priestley who has a job?
Well, she was the first.
You don't need a job in the 90s.
She was the first of Jenny Garth's character, Kelly, to have a job. She's like, and they say that in that. Kelly's like, you're the first of my friends to have a real job. And I'm like, so the guys aren't your friends? Because they have jobs too.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, it's funny because...
what, to smolder? Is that a profession?
Too, this was so long ago. Like, I mean, Shannon Doherty was so young and she just had like that brutal fight with cancer in real life last year.
Yeah.
I think she's really good friends with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah,
I think they're like besties.
She did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really bad. She shaved her head and everything. I assume she's better now.
I believe so.
But, good for her. Like, that's a fight. Even if you are a dick, like, you don't deserve cancer. But then the girls are talking, and so Donna is Tori Spelling. So Kelly, Donna, and Brenda are talking about Steve because they're worried because he's been gone for like 4 days.
And I wonder how Tori Spelling got cast in this show.
Oh, we didn't talk about this yet.
No.
Well, I talked about it with you guys, but for our audience, so this show is created by Darren Star, and he also wrote and directed this episode, which I thought was important because I like to see the episodes where the showrunner has written and directed the episode. I think they're the best. Which on here is grading on a curve. But Darren Star went on to do Sex and the City, which was, I mean, hugely successful and, a much different show, because I think, again, it's like it takes place in New York and that's a huge part of Sex and the City, whereas this is like that California vibe where things are very different than they are in New York. So.
Doesn't Darren Star sound like the name of a guy that creates boy bands?
He also sounds like the name of a porn.
Well, it's with two. It's also with 2 R's. Does that encourage?
Yeah. Well, of course, he's classy.
Then that's all porn. He's probably got one of those like open chest shirts.
Oh yeah,
like with all the hair, pinky rings.
I'm gonna find his picture just to blow y'all's minds.
What is he, a mob boss?
No, just
mob boss's son.
Yeah, I'll make you famous. That sort of shit.
So anyway, my first inference here was that. Oh God, I forgot her fucking name already. Kelly, Jenny Garth's character. So Kelly and Steve used to date. That was my first clue. Because she said she missed him and he always got her good gifts and stuff. Steve's the one looking for his mom.
So
you guys
you
have
mean
to keep
like Breathless? Is that the one yes, the blonde one?
The blonde one that's whiter than Tori Spelling. The one who's
up.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The
like
one who's really, really pale.
The real bad actress.
Next to Tori Spelling, you got no. I can't.
Tori Spelling said 5 words in the whole fucking episode.
Thank God.
Okay,
she's terrible, and this is Darren Star. This is not what you pictured. I feel.
Sort of.
Shows picture of Darren Star.
He looks like the kind of senator that gets caught like getting a blowjob from a 12-year-old in a.
Let's not say that. Let's not say that about Darren Star. That's not a thing.
Bring it, Star.
Not a thing. No, that's
Sex and the City sucked, and you suck too.
John, that's a horrible thing to say about somebody. You.
I said he looks like that.
Yeah, that's still a shitty thing to say. Can you not when it's not related to anything? God, you're the fucking worst. Anyway, fuck.
That was a real fight, everybody.
So I'm like really pissed off at you right now. So Kelly and Steve, even though they're broken up, she misses him. And then this is when Shannon Doherty invites everybody over, like, to decorate their Christmas tree that night, because apparently they get their Christmas tree 2 days before Christmas.
It's
always.
a tradition.
Well,
And
it was a dead Christmas tree.
Because they
it's
didn't
so
have any
goddamn
good ones
hot
to
out
choose
there.
from because it's like 90-degree weather. And I guess they're from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that the Walshes, so I didn't realize that, Brenda and Brandon?
Jason Priestley.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they were brother and sister. I guess they are.
I got that towards the end.
Yeah,
of it.
I figured it out when they had the same mom in the beginning.
Isn't it fun just piecing this together?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a puzzle, you know?
It was fun.
And the thing is, unfortunately, everybody looks the same. They're all generically attractive. I'm
true.
not convinced that Jason Priestley and Luke Perry aren't the same person, and they just digitally put them in the same shots.
Maybe. So then the Walshes, when all the kids are over there that night, the Walshes invite them over for dinner on Christmas Eve, and including their families.
Well, it's important to note here that the mom, Mama Walsh, okay?
Yeah.
She's depressed because it's her first year having Christmas in Beverly Hills, and she misses being in Minnesota where it's snow.
Oh, boo for you.
So she's just bummed out because she lives in the lap of luxury in Beverly Hills instead of, roughing it in the lap of luxury in Minnesota.
Meow.
Rich
Again,
people problems.
White people problems. I can't stand it.
I had to clean off my car today.
Well,
I feel nothing for you.
Elaine, we kind of skipped over when you said that, she's sad about not having him around at the holidays because he bought her great Christmas presents even when they weren't dating.
Yeah,
So
I
not
said that she missed him. And
Yeah,
he
but
bought
we
presents.
didn't touch on that. I mean, not that I'm sad because we had an actual connection. I'm just not going to get things.
Or I miss him because he's been gone for 4 days and no one's heard from him because cell phones weren't invented yet.
Awesome Christmas presents.
Yeah, guys, this was vapid beyond McVapid. It was the worst.
Well, and this is just I can't believe he wrote this, that he gave himself a writing credit, because this is just a series of things that happen. There's no goddamn story to any of this.
How dare you? We go back to Albuquerque, and Steve is at the hospital asking a nun for his birth certificate. How dare you?
You're skipping the one part about the Christmas Eve thing, and that is that the mom tries to get all the kids to come to their house on Christmas Eve.
Are you guys? Am I invisible? Am I here?
No, but you missed one thing. They all basically blew her off and said, "Oh yeah, we were too busy. We're going to this mountain complex or this some shit."
To be fair, they're spending the holiday with their own families, which is valid.
Yeah.
And the one guy, he wants to visit his dad in jail. It's not like he can bring his dad along.
That's
Sure
old
he
Luke.
can.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a thing.
Just break him out of jail for one night.
Daddy's getting parole, baby.
But yeah, we go back to New Mexico, and are joined by Sharknado.
He's looking for his
That's
origins.
what I'm gonna call him. Fucking Sharknado. Sharknado's looking for his origins.
He is, and he finds and you're right, John. I mean, I wouldn't put a writing credit on this for myself either if I was the writer, because it has lines like he was looking for his records, and the nun was like, do you know if you were born here? And he's like, well, I'm not sure, but I know I was born in this town. And she's like, well, then you were born here. There was no point.
Couldn't have just said yes.
There was no point to that
Well, maybe
effing
she
conversation,
squeezed him out in the
y'all.
toilet of a 7-Eleven, you know?
I got nothing for you. And it's weird because the nun looked really familiar, and I'm actually looking her up right now because I cannot place her. And
She looked like she was
me.
constipated the whole scene.
I mean, she's
I don't want to do this,
And he talks her into being able to see it and all that. He
bribes her.
Guys, what's the over under that she's probably from SVU, and that's why I know her face.
Probably from an episode where Nun gets raped.
Maybe
She had anal contusions.
Oh my God, that's the thing you just said on our show. Excellent.
He used the holy water as lubricant.
Why do we let him on the show again, Brian?
Because he's funny.
Oh, is that why? No one told me.
Yeah.
No one told
yeah,
me.
so Sharknado tries to bribe the nurse / sister, and she reluctantly lets him look at the birth certificate, but says, you can't take it with you. That's against the law.
Yeah, because he's not 18 yet.
Just saying.
And I feel like there's more law at hand there than just like you need your mother's permission.
No,
I
that's
think
a
like
big deal.
if it's a closed adoption, like no one can see that.
That's right. Even she can't see it. Like that's kind of how it works. But
Oh, I know what I remember from, but it's
okay.
embarrassing, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay. You can't leave. You can't start on that. And then
Okay, it's from Heartbreakers with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sigourney Weaver, and I love that movie. And now you guys know the real me.
Elaine, there are a lot worse things you could have said than Heartbreakers.
It's embarrassing to have as like a love
That movie's
movie.
just average. It's not even terrible.
It's just
Really funny. I love that movie.
Yeah. So he gets does he get like an address or a name?
Yeah, he just gets her name.
He gets a name.
It's Karen Brown. So he has to look up every fucking Brown in the Albuquerque phone book.
He turns into the Terminator. Like, remember the first one? Like, he just looks up all the Sarah Connors.
Oh, yeah, no, he looks up every
Brown.
single Karen Brown and he calls for all of
It's
them.
a genuinely creepy scene when he's like, yeah, I'm looking for Karen Brown or a relative of hers.
What do you keep calling? Who are you? What do you want?
Who is this?
It's not.
Stop
It is not
calling.
creepy. It's not
Yes, it
accidentally
is.
creepy. John
the
is
guy's
mistaken.
voice is so deep, and like it kind of starts to zoom in on him, and he's freaked out. Like I was freaked out too. He's like, "Holy shit! His mom's in line with the devil."
I did not get any of that. But okay, all right, that's fine.
Your mom's the bride of Satan.
Meanwhile, in Beverly, Hills, this so Brandon's at his job. So Luke Perry's at his job in the diner.
Yeah.
And he's serving customers when a seemingly homeless man walks in.
He's
And-
gone through some shit.
And they end up rustling up like a free cup of coffee and like some free food for him because he seems like he's homeless. And the owner of the diner, Nat, is showing off his Santa suit that he wears on Christmas because the Peach Pit, which is where Brandon works. You guys are welcome on my detail, by the way.
Wait, is that a sexual name or am I on the Peach Pit?
It is a sexual name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, or it's
Which you
just
got
a
like
place-
some vanilla shakes.
They serve some
Extra
They
cream.
serve free. They serve free Christmas dinner on Christmas to the homeless. Can we focus on what's
Oh, I
important
bet
here,
they
please?
give it to him.
Can we focus on what's important? Anyway, so we have 3 things to get through. If you keep fucking interrupting me, we are never going to get to all the Christmas craps, okay?
She's going to take the
Sack is not
microphone
gonna be
stand
full.
and beat you with it. Okay?
I'm feisty tonight. I am feisty. So then Nat's showing off the Santa suit that he's going to wear at free Christmas the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And the homeless dude, like, you can see him, like, eyeing it up, you know? Like, giving it the eye. And then Steve tries to find, like, this address that he pinned down. And that's, like, a no-go because it was, like, a strip mall. And then...
It's a montage.
And then Andrea, who's the one with glasses, I forget the actress's name, but she
Nerdy
comes
hot
into
girl number 1.
She comes into the Peach Pit and she tells Brandon that she doesn't celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah.
Apparently she's Jewish.
She's not, though.
Really?
No, her parents. She said her parents didn't celebrate either because they thought it would be easier.
But
That's
so
really
That
she's...
means one
weird.
Jewish
That means
parent
there
and one
must be
Christian parent.
one. Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, okay. They never said that. That like.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Every family's different.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
my family,
course.
we did 1 year of Hanukkah, but we always did Christmas because I'm sorry, Christmas is more fun.
and I just thought that it was weird
We
because
do Kwanzaa at my house.
No, we
Okay.
don't. I never thought it was.
To each his own.
I didn't think it was a matter that she had one Jewish parent and one Christian parent. I just thought her parents were like atheists and they were like, fuck it, we're not celebrating shit. I don't know. It was weird. I did not get that, but that makes a lot more sense. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Look, you don't bring up Hanukkah unless you have a Jewish person in your family.
That tends to be how it works.
Fair enough. So then the owner of the Peach Pit realizes his Santa suit is missing. And then we cut to the homeless dude. He's in it and he's handing out candy canes around town.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of Christmas Santa slasher movies.
This is how
and
it starts.
This is how it starts, right?
freaked
I
me
expected
out.
him to start killing some bitches.
You know, I thought that same thought.
I did too. I think we're all cut from the same horrible cloth.
I thought he's either going to start killing people or he's going to be jacking it in the Santa suit.
I got a murder
in front of
vibe.
Macy's.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, I also got a murder vibe. So we're just all the same brand of fucked up.
It's also
apparently.
that Santa suit ended up being really dirty looking after a whole day. Like it was dirty and dingy.
Listen, old man got sweaty, okay? He was sweaty. It's like 90 degrees there, whatever. So then he
Sweaty
starts
balls.
creeping around the boutique where Brenda works. And so her boss is a total dick. And like Brenda's like, please be nice. Like, haha, it's Santa, haha. But like, seriously, don't be a dick. But her boss like calls him crazy and like kicks him out and all this shit.
Well,
It's like
hold
awful.
on, Elaine. If a homeless man just comes into your store and just starts accosting your customers,
handing out
Touch
candy
anybody.
canes. He was
handing
handing
out
out candy canes.
I would take a candy cane from Dirty Santa.
so he's soliciting.
He's soliciting.
What is he soliciting? He's giving people shit for free.
He's soliciting his candy
will
cane.
take a
Yeah, it
candy
starts
cane.
now until he wants to whip out his Yule log and jingle bells. you know?
Listen, the candy cane is the only piece of candy that you can make into a weapon, and you can weaponize the season, and you can stab someone with.
Have you thought of the ways that you can make improvised weapons with candy canes?
Maybe, I don't know. I always make.
Do you have a
mine really,
recipe
really-
for napalm?
I
Based
always
with,
make mine
with
super
holly
sharp.
and
Okay, it's
candy
just what I
cane?
do. I make them stabby. It's fun.
There's mistletoe over Santa's sack.
Seriously. So anyway, Deirdre like kicks him out, and then Dylan shows up, who is the Jason Priestley one, and he like smolders for a hot second, and then he gives Brenda her Christmas present before he goes to see his dad in the clink. So
Wait, no, that's Luke Perry.
Yeah, it's Luke. It's
That's Luke Perry.
It's Luke Perry.
did I get them confused?
You did.
Did I get the two dudes confused? What?
Yeah, Luke Perry is the smoldery one.
He's amazingly the worst
like-
of the two actors.
Shite,
just
I need
like,
to see their
yeah.
faces again. Damn it.
I hate consumerism.
it's like they don't even know the reason for the season.
Oh my god, you guys are amazing right now. This is my favorite.
I give me candy.
This is my favorite thing that's happened. It's amazing. All right.
daddy was
Well,
never
anyway,
around.
so I mixed up the two white dudes. That's awesome. So we check back in with Steve. And by the way, so like I watched this on Daily Motion, and it was broken up into two parts.
I watched the same one.
And so like I saw the first one, I was like, oh sweet, it's like 40 minutes. That is exactly the amount of commitment I wanted to give to it. And then there's a part 2 that's like half an hour long, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, dear Daily Motion, you gotta do something about those ads, bro.
I took care of that.
How'd you do that?
Oh, I took care of that. Ad blocker. Ad blocker, and then I found a bunch of filters. You throw it on there, and part of the advanced filters, and you don't have that problem. Because I was watching Walker on Daily Motion.
It was really bad on Walker.
And
You thought
I
you'd
was
never
like,
say that, did you?
I was like, I'm not.
Watches
Well,
some Ranger.
one, for me, Beverly Hills 90210's Christmas special took like twice the amount of time because of those fucking ads that kept popping up every 5 minutes.
They'll
So
let
when
you
you're
have
try-
one. They'll let you watch like one thing on Daily
No.
Motion, and then they will just like ram you with ads.
Yeah, I
like,
think
up the butt.
I watched that Alf Christmas special on Daily Motion and didn't give me any ads.
Right, the first one's always free, bitches. And then after that, they're like, "Here, would you like some ads in every orifice? Here
Yeah.
you go."
Yeah, you know what Daily Motion? Just because you got titties doesn't mean you can put all those ads up there.
Titties, impressive. All right, so speaking of titties, Steve goes, and he finds a guy who actually knows something about Karen Brown, except his way of conveying this information is being very shady about it. It's weird.
It's like, who wants to know?
He's
Kelly-
just this old saloon owner, you know. That's
Kelly's
kinda-
at home helping her mom cook, and they have like a moment, and so then her mom's boyfriend comes over and says that like he's actually going to go to his ex's house for Christmas, and so he and David can't come to dinner.
All right, so I got to stop you right there. So, guys, watching this episode, who was on the boyfriend side? Show of hands.
What?
Just me?
Mel.
Oh, going to the
Yeah.
yeah.
It was completely logical.
It was
and
very
she was
logical.
like,
It made sense.
I'm crazy. Take your fucking flowers and get the fuck out
No,
of here.
I mean, she was really disappointed, but like
No, I
She
get it.
acted like an asshole.
She just felt like she wasn't the priority in the situation, which like I think maybe he should have said a little bit more and maybe started with like, hey, my ex doesn't seem like she's doing so well. I'm worried. Instead of
to be fair, I think it could have also been like, hey, maybe I see you Christmas Eve and I see her on Christmas. Like, you know, there's ways you could go about it. You don't have to do one or the other.
Right.
And yeah, her reaction was pretty shitty because it's honestly like,
she was kind of queen dick about it.
Well,
I
it-
agree with you.
yeah, no, I was on the boyfriend side the whole time, just going like, well, he has a kid with her,
Yeah.
so there.
And that
if
stuff's
you're-
always sticky and terrible.
if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm not finding a plot thread in any of this.
There's
Neither
none.
did we.
There's
Nope.
no.
Just things
No.
that happen.
Just a series of different events.
Good times.
That's pretty much it.
Good times.
Not even unfortunate
So-
events, just different events.
But like her mom's like all pissy, and then so then Kelly goes back to the boutique where Brenda works because apparently Kelly has no hobbies or other friends. And
No.
she's like,
Guys, was Kelly in a vegetative state? I'm not convinced she wasn't.
Listen,
That's the pale one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she's in
beautiful
the
skin.
She just was like,
anything.
yes, I just missed my birthday.
Well, she's a beautiful girl, but
but she's just like
she can't
just
act.
breathless.
Okay, guys, we really got to like wrap this up because
I
there's
know.
so much more of this to go, and we have 2 other specials to talk about. Jesus Christ! So then she talks to Brenda about the whole situation, and she's like, "I'm just worried if it's just me and my mom on Christmas that she's going to start drinking. I assume that's a problem that she's had before. The mom that she's a drinker,
Maybe."
And
So does that mean every single time her mom is by herself, it's just
or just I guess just
Brenda
depressed, I guess. But then Brenda invites Kelly and her mom over for Christmas. So she's like, why don't you guys come over for Christmas Eve like my mom suggested before everybody else had plans. And so Brenda's like, cool. So then we check back in with Steve. Steve has found the diner where the guy was like suspicious about his questions about Karen Brown. And he's like, I'm her son, biatch. And he's like, cool, let's go get a booth and talk. And so
Why are they getting a booth and talking?
because the dude is Karen's father.
You
And
won't
it's his
want to leave
grandfather.
that out. Yeah, that's his grandpa.
So he just met his his
Yeah.
birth grandpa. So let's see. And then
you want to get to the shocking reveal.
looking at my notes. Talking. Oh, well, don't forget Santa comes back to the boutique and Deirdre kicks him out again because she's a dick. Okay.
Yeah, Santa can't take a hint. This also shows signs that he might be crazy.
Well, we don't get the kicker yet with Steve because we have to go with Brandon to visit Emily at the facility where she's been. So Emily,
I'm gonna be honest with you, that whole section
Emily
I zoned
Valentine.
out on.
Emily Valentine, I think her name is.
Well, we have no idea what's happening.
I'm being completely honest with you.
Listen,
I zoned out.
I think they used to go together, and I was reading about the episode that like took place before this, and I think they used to go together, and she just went like cray, and he wanted
to go together.
and he wanted some. Yeah, like they used to go out.
Oh, the blonde chick who was actually in Chucky 2?
Oh, was she with
Yeah.
the short hair?
She was Kyle in
Oh,
Chucky
it's
2.
like the stepsister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I know her from because point of reference for me.
Right.
You know?
Well, I guess they maybe were dating kind of, but he wanted more space, and so she just started calling him obsessively like a crazy person. And then for some reason, like they're both on like newspaper or yearbook together, and there was a float, and she almost lit it on fire, and that's why she's in the facility. It was a whole thing.
Don't you just
okay.
get fined for that?
I looked
don't
into
know.
it for like a minute.
little community service. Like she's in a nut house for
She-
a small fire.
well,
I started
I don't even-
a lot of fires.
Well, I don't
Listen,
even.
it was
well,
Beverly Hills. They don't do this shit all
She
the
threatened,
time, okay?
like she poured gas all over the float, and she like threatened to turn it on fire. I guess.
Oh, maybe it's because they have such a water shortage there. They had to use so much water to put the fire out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that the fire ever happened. I think she just went to get help because she was like cray.
So why did he go to see her? Like, wouldn't that kind of
I guess
like
to make her feel
inflame the
better.
situation?
Oh, pun intended.
Oh, wasn't intended, but
Well,
you're right.
it was like he gave her his shirt, which I guess she like obsessively wore in this episode where she went crazy. And the card was like from everybody because like I guess everybody was kind of giving her a hard time about like being obsessive and weird, and I don't know. It was a whole thing. I don't make the rules. I briefly googled.
She was probably pulling a Helga Pataki on that shirt. You know,
What?
from Hey Arnold.
Did you just make a Hey Arnold reference?
Yes, I did.
And you
We
knew her
just
last
become
name.
best friends.
We've been best friends, but yes,
I know. That's amazing. Oh my
But
god.
I'm just saying, you don't think she-
way to bring out
You-
Pataki friend.
you don't think that she like had his shirt and like all his chewing gum and made a little like Jason
shrine. Oh my
shrine
God.
to Jason
Of course.
Priestley in her
I mean, is it weird
would
to
have?
have a Jason Priestley shrine? Because I totally
Made out of his chewing gum a little
totally
bit.
don't have one. I mean, it's fine.
I'm more of a Luke Perry girl myself.
Jason Priestley was good in True Calling, and that's all I have to say about that. So then the cards from everybody, like I guess to like give closure to that situation. I mean, this is the joy of a show that you've never watched. So, excuse me. So then David goes by the Taylor's house to bring Kelly her gift, but Kelly's all mad about like what's going on with their parents. So like David's dad and her mom like were the ones that had the fight. But then they're like they agree that they're friends, like everything's cool with them, and then we get the big reveal from Steve's grandfather because Al tells Steve what.
The big reveal. I'm just laughing my ass off because he's just so. He's like, well, you should just leave her alone, son. But I feel like I should be with her at Christmas. Well, adoption is fine, but I just feel this connection. She's dead. God, she's just dead. Go home, idiot.
That is
With your
kind of how-
stupid curly mop head.
Except for the stupid part. That is kind of how it goes
Go
down.
fight
And
shark tornadoes.
Dig her up. I want to dance with her. Oh, God. Get out of my bar.
Oh, God. It's diner, John. It's a clean establishment. So then, so Karen's dead. But after Steve was born, she was in high school when he was born, but she went on to college and got married and stuff. And Karen said she never talked about the baby, but she had a good life. And I guess it was like a really bad car accident. Like, I don't know why it had to be a really bad car accident. It could have just been an average car accident. Like,
just your average murder in a car accident.
I guess.
That sort of thing.
Jesus. So then, I don't know.
She was mangled.
Yeah. Just unrecognizable. Closed casket there, son.
Christ on a stick. There's so much
We got
stuff.
pictures you want to see. Here's what your mama.
Well,
here's your
long
mama
story
looks
short,
like.
right, they invite Hobo Santa over to the house,
Brenda
right?
invites him to
For
dinner.
Christmas Eve.
And then
like
and Steve, like he sees her Karen's grave. That's important, I think.
Right,
and
he's
then
like,
he
hey,
asks,
will you be my grandpa? He's like, yeah, whatever.
He's like,
we'll stay
sure.
in touch.
I don't know. It was kind of
pen
nice.
pals.
That was actually kind of nice because he was like, it'd be an honor, and I was like, oh,
Tell you what, 20% off the steak dinner at Mac Diner.
oh my god. So then Steve tries to charter a plane from a guy who's
Santa.
supposed to be playing Santa, but it's actually
Spoiler alert,
I think
Brian.
Santa. I don't know.
No, that's Santa Claus.
I don't think it's actual Santa Claus because Steve gives him a lot of money and real Santa wouldn't have taken money.
Real Santa needs to make fucking presents. So
No,
yeah,
real Santa would not have taken money.
He's
He
got
would have
that
done it
slave
because
labor.
it's Christmas.
Well, I'm just saying, he's got to pay for reindeer food. He's got to pay for all that shit.
It's Christmas.
Well, real Santa
real
apparently
Santa.
doesn't have an immortal wife either because his wife died.
No, we haven't gotten to that yet. So anyway, so a bunch of people are all there at the house. I don't know. Everybody starts showing up at the Walshes.
Thank you, Elaine. I don't know.
This is pretty much the
I'm
end
trying
of
to
it,
skip
though.
over some stuff because we have so much more to talk about.
Yeah, well, they think that Santa stole from them because, well, he's homeless, so of course he did it. But then they find out that it was just like the dad in the house had just tried to get the mom's like ring adjusted for
like
for
redone
Christmas.
and stuff.
So he hadn't
then
done shit.
And the homeless seeming guy, he had like a bunch of like really expensive gifts for everybody.
Mm-hmm. People are just going like, how can the homeless man afford all that?
Right, because they didn't really know his deal. One thing I will say that's more pressing is that Dylan does go to see his dad, and I was looking at a review on this, and I think what happened is when Dylan goes to the jail to see his dad, like the actor must have been replaced because it says Dylan goes to see Jack, who's magically been transformed into a completely different person. So that's kind of funny.
Shows, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it happened on Pretty Little Liars with Jason De Laurentiis. It's like he had a whole new head.
None
whole
of us
new
know
face.
that reference at all.
But hopefully someone, the single listener that got that was for you.
Okay.
That was for you, friend.
Fair enough.
Once again, our English listener.
So Dylan was like, talking to his dad about all the Christmases that his dad missed and stuff.
Because
and,
his dad was having orgies across the pond.
Yes, it sounded like his dad's life was pretty awesome. And so then Dylan's like, no, like go. Or no, Jack is like, Dylan, go with your friends, go see Brenda, like, hang out with them, don't, whatever. And then so like the homeless dude thing happens at the Walsh's house, and then David and Donna all suddenly show up because Donna's family isn't skiing anymore. And then we find out why Donna hates Christmas. It's because her birthday's on Christmas.
The only time that Tori Spelling says anything
but
the
like her
entire
friends
episode.
should know when her birthday is, though, right? Like they made it seem like it was a revelation, and like shouldn't her friends, even if they're shallow, know when her birthday is?
Yeah, but it's Beverly Hills. No one cares.
It was weird.
But
and then
what
and
I
then-
found weird about that particular scene when Tori Spelling is talking,
I try not to pay attention when Tori Spelling is
is
talking.
really that she's in like this gold tight dress. Okay, this really tight dress, and she's sitting on Hobo Santa's lap.
That is not the distracting outfit in this episode. Thank you very much. It is the shorts that she's wearing when she's trimming the tree early in the episode.
Yeah.
When like the bottom of her butt cheek is like hanging under the shorts. And listen, she looks great in that outfit. I would never shame a gal for what she's wearing.
I'm not.
But
I
I was
just found it-
distracted by butt cheek.
Look, when you're directing a show and an actress can't act, you gotta find some other way to make it entertaining.
Oh my God, John.
He's
That's
not
horrible.
I mean, he's not wrong.
when she's sitting on Santa's lap, like, Santa wants to be a gentleman, but God, he has limits. Jesus Christ.
Well, no. What did we find out about?
Yes. Oh, hi, Jesus.
What did we find out about the homeless guy, guys?
His wife
Brian.
died.
No, we found out that he was actual fucking Santa.
Okay, it also could have been a crazy person.
He was
too.
actual fucking Santa.
He also could be a crazy person delusioning.
But like
that
no
he's
one seemed to
Santa.
care. He was actual Santa, and his wife had died the year before, and he was
Because-
looking for Christmas spirit,
because
and he was real
everyone-
Santa. And no one thought
Okay,
that was weird.
First of all, why would Santa go to Beverly Hills, the shallowest place in the entire world, to find Christmas spirit?
I don't know.
Well, I guess like when your wife, your eternal wife, dies somehow of like AIDS, like you're just gonna wander some strange places.
Now maybe he was just some
My
dude.
eternal wife died of the AIDS. The AIDS.
The AIDS virus swept the elves, and let's say Mrs. Claus is kind of a freak, you know.
John, we have so much to get through. It's not even funny.
Wait, isn't the episode over?
I mean, that's
John, we have 2 more specials to talk about. You're already exhausting
But yeah,
me.
this might have been the worst show I've ever fucking seen.
Well, because, like, maybe it was just some dude whose wife died, and he was like, I'm going to hang out with these shallow assholes because one of them's mom is bound to be a good cook. But, like, it made it seem like it was actual fucking Santa Claus, and he had, like, come, and Mrs. Claus was dead, and the elves were gone. And, like, I'm just confused and have a lot of questions because nobody seemed, like, ruffled for a second that actual Santa Claus could be there.
Guys, I've got this. It's like Manchester by the Sea. Like Santa like had a little too much eggnog and he went off to go to the store to buy some stuff, but he let the fire going and then the whole North Pole burnt down and his wife burned and all the elves burned and he's like trying to live with it. So he has to go back to his hometown, which is Beverly Hills.
Is that what Manchester by the Sea is about?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either. Fuck you, Casey Affleck. Just so you know.
Yeah,
Fuck
he
you, Casey.
sucks, but the movie is fantastic.
I didn't watch it because
Well, I mean, my thinking is Santa murdered his eternal wife so he can get a piece of Beverly Hills ass.
Oh, yeah, he wants that spelling ass. You know, the spas.
Just
okay,
saying.
guys, like seriously, we gotta.
Okay,
right.
so
So maybe it was
shit
really
happens at the
Santa,
end of
maybe it wasn't.
All right.
I don't know. Steve gets a ride home because he's chartered a plane. His mom's so happy to see him. She doesn't care that he spent all of her goddamn money. And then they end it like singing Christmas carols, singing White Christmas, but singing the same verse 3 times in a row.
Well-
and then no one was on pitch, and I wanted to die a little. It did not evoke the Christmas spirit.
It's white people singing White Christmas. Are you surprised?
I mean, nobody could carry a tune, though. I was very baffled as
They
to
weren't
how
hired
no
for
one...
their singing abilities.
But like now, you have to be good at everything if you're going to be an actor. You have to like sing and dance and do everything.
That's
Yeah.
every profession. But
Do like
sick
back
shits.
handsprings.
Sick shits?
Really?
Sick shits.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, see, the shit barometer is kind of strange because, like, am I doing that on crappiness or like fun?
Enjoyable crappiness is what I thought that it was on.
Oh, enjoyable crappiness, then 3 shits.
Yeah.
yeah, I was
It
going to
was-
say
There's
because
2 different
Yeah.
barometers here,
It's-
but yeah.
it's terrible.
I mean, I've been able to sit through a lot of these, and I mean, granted, I fast forward through a lot of the songs, like in some of these specials, kind of like our last one that we've got here. Although some of those I was just like, Jesus Christ, but yeah, this one was just kind of very similar to the Star Wars Holiday Special. It was boring.
it had no plot.
It had no fucking plot.
It was just a bunch of vignettes almost.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe this is what 90210 is like all the time.
I know, and this wasn't a special. This is just like an episode in their sequential order.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a standalone thing. So this must be how that horrible goddamn show is structured.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the
anyway,
writing was not good.
Let's get to Walker.
Oh, God. So, I got to preface this by saying that I like Chuck Norris in the movie Sidekicks,
Okay.
but I don't like him in anything else.
Brian, we saw Sidekicks when we were 8. Of course, we
still like it.
Chuck Norris.
I mean, fucking come on. Joe Piscopo and that kid who killed himself and Chuck Norris? Yeah.
Oh, you just
stuff.
jumped to that elephant
Brad
in the room, huh?
Renfro? No, this was another child star.
Oh, no, yeah. He was the kid from It, and
yeah, he was in it.
Oh,
that Mark Summers
kid,
special
the
we
kids
watch
and
every year.
everything. Oh,
But
that guy,
anyway,
poor
so
little guy.
that's the extent of my Chuck Norris fandom is the movie Sidekicks. I know there's probably a whole bunch more, but I mean, really, for me, it's just that movie. So I was aware of Walker, Texas Ranger. I never actually saw an episode.
I don't think I'd ever seen it either.
And really, I was aware of it because it came on right after WWE Raw.
no
You remember that?
way. That's
Yep.
funny.
It would always come right after that, and I'd be like, "Oh, here's Walker. Turn it off."
There's an Asian buffet in my hometown that has the TVs on, and for somehow it's always on Walker, Texas Ranger, no matter what time of day it is.
Do you mean Ocean Buffet?
Yeah.
but so Walker, Texas Ranger, actually sitting through an episode, it's literally Christian fundamentalist entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Cheaply made movies for people from the Mid-South. Yeah.
Real bad.
Really? I didn't get that vibe, y'all.
The kind of people that eat at Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
You know?
Although, I will say, Cracker Barrel is pretty delicious. If you ever been there. Okay? If you ever been
It's
there,
all that gravy, guys.
But you can clearly tell that this was like a proto-Trump show.
Well, it was 1996.
Yes.
There was one black person in it. How dare you, by the way.
Well, they had to legally, I think.
No, dude. Like, the lack of diversity in this shit, like, is bone-chilling.
What part of Christian entertainment did you not understand?
Well, like, Walker's hanging out with a bunch of kids in a bar.
Well, I don't understand where the disenchanted orphans came from.
Because it's Christmas.
I don't know why there were orphans or why they would give a fuck about...
They were disenchanted.
What
They
was
were
it?
having a great time.
What was it?
the one
Ranger
guy was.
Cooper? What was the guy's name?
No, well, the guy's name's Walker.
Well, no.
His name is Cordell Walker.
I thought there was something Cooper.
We haven't. That's in the past. We haven't jumped to that part yet.
Motherfucker, fine.
So the episode starts with Walker and his band of merry man and woman, basically giving presents away to a group of orphans. And there's one kid in the crowd who's the smart one. Okay. He's the one who will grow up to be the atheist who says, none of this shit makes any sense. Okay? And he actually says...
And Walker will roundhouse kick him.
No, but that's exactly what he does the whole episode. So this kid is basically saying what we all kind of espouse to is that, yeah, Christmas is mostly about consumerism and, all that fun stuff. And he's not wrong. The kid's not wrong. I mean, it's about other stuff, too. But for the most part, he's not wrong about the consumerism stuff.
At the end of the day, if you took religion out of the holiday... Nothing would really change about all of our everyday lives. If you took consumerism out of the holiday, our entire capitalistic society would collapse.
It's true.
So it really is about consumerism.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, most businesses, don't they rely on the holiday season
Absolutely.
to keep them afloat all year
Absolutely.
long?
So the kid is not wrong. He's actually pretty smart. But this is a good example of groupthink, okay? Mm-hmm. Basically influencing and targeting one person who's too smart for the group thinks good.
With the cult leader Walker.
With cult leader Walker telling a tale. Okay? Because one person happens to say what we all know for true. So it's Walker decides to tell a story about how there was another Texas Ranger back in 1876 who has no relation to Walker, but looks exactly like him, except for wearing a really bad wig.
He just time traveled and stole Walker's face. No
and
big
he's
deal.
like, he's clearly just gotten a couple eggnogs and he's just riffing. He's just making this up as he goes.
He's just making shit up.
So
It's Christmas.
He jumps back to 1876, and you're met with this story about a man named Will Stanton, who is reluctantly part of a posse that's robbing a bank. You don't know why he's part of this posse. He just kind of is like, all right, I'm going to shoot this person, blah, blah, blah. And then the posse leaves, and he's the only one left behind. He takes most of the hit from it legally, and they make him guilty, and they basically call this fake Walker Ranger guy. I forget the fuck his name. Was
something Cooper.
Was it Agent Cooper or what? No,
something,
not Agent Cooper.
Not Agent Cooper. What was it? It was something Cooper.
But it was like Ranger Cooper or some shit like that.
Give me a minute.
I think it was Ranger.
He
Cooper.
looks like the bassist from Nelson, by the way, with that hair.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
Oh no, he's Cordell Walker, right?
Yeah, but he's playing in the past. He's playing Ranger. I think it's Ranger Cooper.
Let's call him Old Timely Walker. Yeah. Old West Walker.
Old West Walker. There you go. Okay, so Old West Walker is the one who's charged to transport Will Stanton to this new jail. Okay, and in the process of doing this, you find out that Will Stanton was kind of a hellion back in the day, and he would say, "It's like I was a rustling and a rambling, and I was a hellion back in the day." And he says he found God. He found Jesus, and now he's forgiven. And this doesn't ring well with Old West Walker, because he's like, why the hell would you hold up a bank then if you found Jesus?
Old West Walker is Hayes Cooper.
There you go.
And he had no Christmas spirit. Did we mention his lack of Christmas spirit? That's very important.
Well, this is the worst Christmas special in one sense, is that it doesn't need to be a Christmas special.
No.
It would have existed if they took the Christmas part out. You could rewrite this without Christmas. It's the same fucking episode.
And
it's 1876. What exactly is going to be Christmassy
I think they kind
about
of
anything?
ram the Christmas in just because. Like this reads very much like it was an episode that they just wrote and thought, oh, yeah, you know what? Let's throw some Christmassy stuff in there.
Yeah, this episode's going to play in December. So
yeah. So, but anyway, while this is happening, there is a man who is hunting Ranger Cooper, and it's Red Bear.
Let's be very careful here.
Red Bear. Okay.
In the most sensitive and culturally accurate depiction of Native Americans.
Can you stop?
Oh yeah, sure.
He never stops.
So yeah, Red Bear is stalking Ranger Cooper. He wants to kill him, and he gets one shot off, and is like, and I love this line. He's like, yes, that's Red Bear. He has a blood debt against me.
You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
His brother. He's like, well, that was in the war. Tell that to him.
Like, I love their blood feud when
feud.
When the Native American person
like,
is
okay,
clearly
Klingon.
is clearly oppressed as fuck and like not wrong.
I am Red Bear Matoya.
Well, 'cause
you killed my brother.
Didn't
Prepare
Hayes?
to
Yeah,
die.
Hayes Cooper like destroyed one of his relatives, like literally his brother, right?
Yeah. He killed him. Yeah, probably in a fight led by Andrew Jackson or some shit like that. Okay, so anyway, Will Stanton jumps in front of an arrow for Ranger Cooper, and he needs to get transported back to his house. So Ranger Cooper's already breaking the law because he should be taking that son of a bitch to jail. Like, isn't that what he's supposed to do? You know.
Well, the nearest whatever medical facility back then?
It's the West, so the nearest medical
barn.
The nearest medical facility might have been Red Bear's people.
I mean, isn't the nearest medical facility like a somewhat clean plank of wood?
Yeah. So he takes him back to his house, and he meets the fam, and meets the wife, and meets the two kids, and he's wondering why Will Stanton is just crying out for Timmy. Okay,
Timmy!
He's just like, Timmy, oh Timmy boy, and he puts two and two together that Timmy is another kid of Will's that is not there. Yes. So you find out
he deduced it with his big brain.
With his big brain that's underneath a obvious wig.
His Nelson wig. Well, if anybody gets my Nelson reference, good for you. You listen to a lot of really random 90s music.
That's single fan. That's right. That's what we strive for.
That's right. So basically, they spill the beans and say that Cody Diggs, the part who was like the ruler of that kind of band.
The ruler.
He was.
He's like the leader.
He's the leader.
Iron Fist asshole.
He basically stole Timmy, the baby.
Timmy.
Okay.
We both did it, John. Did you hear me? I did it really quiet, but that's like my favorite thing on South
And basically told Will Stanton to help him on this bank robbery, or he was going to kill the kid. Okay.
That is like shitty. That's some shitty low
That's some Old
bullshit.
West shit right there. Okay. They didn't fuck around back then.
Crap.
And at this point, I'm thinking like, well, it was kind of a botched bank robbery, and he did get caught. They fucking killed that kid.
That kid should be dead. It should
they took
be dead.
a musket to his little baby face.
Oh, God.
Oh, John,
Jesus.
musket to baby
Well,
face.
it's gonna have a closed casket funeral, just like Sharknado's mom.
Oh, you're the worst.
So, Old West Walker decides that he's going to find the kid. Okay, he's going to go to...
Well, wasn't that what he was originally hired to do? That the child was kidnapped, and that's why he was like...
He was originally hired to transport Will Stanton to the prison.
Oh, God, this show was so boring. I forgot.
It was. So Old West Walker decides he's going to go to the weird town called, what was it, like Devil's Hole or Devil's Asshole or some shit like that. It was some weird...
Devil's
I'm calling it nothing but Devil's Asshole now.
It was some weird shit like that, like Devil's Taint.
Wall or something.
It was Devil's Taint.
Nope, Devil's Taint.
Okay?
Done.
It was
Devil's
Taint.
nacho.
And you basically all of Devil's
What's a
Taint.
devil's nacho, Elaine?
Nacho balls and nacho ass.
I love you for that.
I'm trying to tell a story.
I know.
here,
He's
okay?
trying to tell a story and I'm ruining it. I'm sorry.
But
I'm done.
he goes to Devil's Taint, and all of Devil's Taint is covered in
Poop and bits.
Oh my God.
I mean, all sorts of scum and villainy, basically.
And ball fur.
A wretched hive is coming.
Yeah, it was very much that. So old Wes Walker decides that the only thing that he can do to blend in is just remove his badge.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. You don't just look like a lawman at all.
Wicked and conspicuous. Good job.
So he goes to Devil's Taint and gets into a card game and tries to pass off that he wants to work with Cody Diggs on some shit. And, ultimately another criminal walks in and basically outs him.
Well, the guy's clearly a narc. Like, hey, do any of you other young people know where I can buy reefer sticks?
Where do you guys
that's
like
exactly
to shoot
the
up the
point.
reefer?
Yeah. So, but do any of you know where I can find the marijuana?
Well, then he meets Hair and Tits, my favorite character
Hair
in
and
the
Tits?
show. Yeah,
Oh, the
she's like
blonde
all
one?
hair and boobs.
Oh, yeah, pretty much her.
She's just in it to be a pair of boobs.
Pretty much. I mean,
Super progressive.
do you love how the fact that the opening credit sequence for that whole thing has her just in front of American flag?
Yep.
Just
She's
like
super
tits
important to
and,
the
tits
plot,
and hair.
of
That's
course.
all American right there for you.
God damn
Yeah.
it, she loves this country, and if you don't like it, get out.
And the higher the hair, the closer to God.
Seriously.
welcome.
But yeah, basically, Hair and Tits has been promised the baby. Okay.
Which is so weird. I promise you this baby.
Yeah, because Cody Diggs is like her dude.
And wouldn't you wonder where the baby came from? Wouldn't you be like, where?
She's a hooker, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna want
a
to
heart
put
of gold.
a baby in her? Ew. she has to buy one. She's just disgusting.
Well, she didn't even buy one.
She was promised a baby at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, do we know that she was a hooker or was she just in red in a saloon?
It was like a Christian show's version of a hooker where,
I mean, she could have just been in a red outfit in a saloon, guys.
No, she worked upstairs in the saloon. That's where
Listen.
the hookers were.
Listen.
Oh, okay. Well,
She
hey,
lived in the town of Devil's Taint. Where do you think she was
she worked
working
in
at?
the taint. The
Okay.
tainty part.
But
I think she worked somewhere near the back end and the front end.
Wow.
oh god. So yeah, she's under the auspices that this kid just magically appeared
Yeah.
from Cody Diggs.
From the
And
baby tree.
From the baby tree, exactly. And that, the mother must have died. So she just believes all this shit from this guy.
she's a moron on top of everything
Yes, yes.
And then Walker roundhouse kicks her and grabs the baby.
No,
that's what
that's
I
not
wish
what happened.
happened.
He did. He roundhouse kicked no one. It was
He-
bullshit.
That pissed me off.
It was bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. He was told by Will Stanton not to kill anyone. Really?
Fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here.
Boring.
Look, he's the Terminator.
Son of a bitch took your kid.
Yeah.
They're dead. Like,
Seriously, you baby
What?
steal, you're in trouble.
and honestly, if you are not asking for them to dead, you're a bad parent. Okay?
It's true. If you
Anyone
don't
takes my stepkids, they better hope that I don't find them,
there's blood.
because there will be blood.
There will
okay?
be blood.
It seems real odd that he had to tell him that, like John Connor to the Terminator. Don't just go in and shoot everyone and then bring me a blood-soaked infant. Like, he's a lawman. There are legal ways to do this.
Yeah. So yeah, basically he gets outed by some other criminal who's just a horse wrestler, or some shit like that.
A horse wrestler?
He's
What?
wrestling, he steals horses.
Horse wrangler?
Horse wrangler. I don't know.
No, he's a horse wrestler in Devil's Taint.
Yes,
he just
that's
rolls
right.
around in the taint with a horse.
I mean, he looks like he rolls around the tank.
Well, there was Mantar. I guess that's the closest thing to a horse wrestler.
Yeah.
Mantar?
Yeah, in the 90s, there was a guy who wore, like a boar's head. He was Mantar.
I was
Okay.
like, what? Okay.
But anyway, he gets outed, so they're like, oh, we're gonna do a hanging on Christmas, woo! So they hook Old Wes Walker up
Did I
to.
hang him with Garland? Please tell me it's with
I wish they would have.
Elaine, you watch this. You don't have to ask.
I
she's zoned out on it. She's zoned out on it too.
I was doing a joke.
I did
God
actually look
damn.
over to Elaine at one point, and she had that 1,000-mile stare.
It was so
I don't
boring.
think she was looking right through the TV.
I was simply waiting for it to end.
You know what? Here's the thing. This was more entertaining than 90210. Okay, but
No, it wasn't.
yeah, it was.
No, I would give the edge to Walker.
But so Walker's got a noose around his neck. He's got the horse. You think he's going to be killed, but sure enough, Red Bear's forgiven him and saves his ass. Cause reasons.
There's reasons. We
I'm
read
sorry.
the script.
He killed your brother.
Yeah.
You let him die. I mean, that's
You enjoy watching him die.
yes.
Come on
In
now.
fact, you're the one who goes up and says, "Here, he's going to get away. Just shoot him with this."
No, there's
you
like
know?
stuff about turning the other cheek and like being a good
Again, this is Christian entertainment. Okay.
Turn the other cheek.
Oh my god.
Give you.
I mean, you can be racist as hell, and that's fine, but you got to turn the other cheek.
Oh, I also killed your sister.
You son of a bitch.
Oh my god, John! Your insensitive imitation is not helping anything.
So, yeah, Walker has a shootout with Cody Diggs, but he doesn't kill anyone. Okay? He doesn't even kill
Somehow.
Cody Diggs. He just shoots him in the leg, or he shoots him in the foot, or shoots him in the dick, but he doesn't actually kill them.
Roundhouse kick
And
to
I'm
the
just,
dick.
I'm just thinking to myself, here's what
Notice
I'm thinking.
he did not shoot
Here's what I'm
anyone in
thinking
the
the whole time. Let's say that Old Wes Walker gets the kid back to Will Stanton, but doesn't kill the people that he's just, like, stole the kid from. What is Cody Diggs going to do come, I don't know, December 26th?
He's gonna kill himself a baby. That's what he's gonna do.
Kill that whole fucking family.
right?
Yeah.
Whole fucking family's dead.
Slaughter.
That farm to the ground.
Yeah.
Slaughter.
So yeah, all Old Wes Walker has done, and Will Stanton himself, because he told him not to kill him, is basically murdered his whole family.
Made the situation worse. Really.
Yeah. So, but before we get to the murdering of Will Stanton's family on the next week's episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, we are granted with the most blatantly Christmassy Christian bullshit you can ever get, which is Walker taking the kid on his horse and getting stuck in the snow, and he's looking at the North Star that's been superimposed onto the sky.
Oh yeah, that was
With
bad.
real bad CGI, and following the North Star to Bethlehem, Texas. This is in the video, guys.
I hated it. I hated this part.
And he ends up going to a bar. He looks like he's been out for maybe a couple days, frozen.
Yeah, this baby somehow is not dead.
Yeah, the baby would be dead.
He looked
okay?
like Leonardo DiCaprio in the Revenant.
Yeah, he looked like he had been through some shit. So he's asking for milk, and the barmaid's like, "Oh, I'll feed him." And didn't anyone else think that she was like gonna whip out a titty and just start feeding the kid?
No,
'Cause
guys,
no bar
I
has-
did not think there'd be a tit in the Christian
Lane,
show.
well, no bar has milk. They have whiskey. That's it.
Well, yeah, they couldn't refrigerate anything else.
Then why would they have milk?
I don't know, because reasons.
How else is that baby gonna get fed?
The script. But they wouldn't have had milk. They
milk.
just wouldn't have.
The
Titty
Utah
milk.
audience.
There's
is
no
like,
way they wouldn't.
We had milk in our bars.
Oh my.
Yeah. So the baby ends up back with Will Stanton's family, in which next week's episode they get murdered. And we come back to modern
Remember,
day.
Walker's telling this story. He's just making this up.
Yeah. Walker's telling the whole story, and apparently that little shit kid now believes in Christmas because he was groupthink to death. So that's the story.
So the moral
of Walker,
of Christmas
Texas Ranger.
is that if a baby's kidnapped, you get it back, don't kill anybody, and then almost freeze to death and bring the baby back. That's the meaning of Christmas.
Sure.
Yes.
Reasons.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that Old Wes Walker now has the spirit of Christmas because he, did those things. I hate this thing. Like I really disliked it.
It was so boring, you guys.
It was more entertaining
so boring.
than 90210.
Hey guys, I brought your baby back. It's dead. Well, I didn't say it was alive. Where's its hands and feet? I had to eat.
Yeah.
It's already dead.
Yeah, but it's There's a reason why I turned it off after Raw.
I'm just glad John doesn't make me watch this one every year.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
So how many shits do you give this one?
See, now this is complicated because it was just Christian propaganda, which makes it a little more difficult. I'm just going to ride that politician line. I'm gonna say 5 shits.
Wow, that's
Because
like not a commitment at all.
It was hysterically funny.
Well, they're the best part, aside from Walker's changing wig, that literally anytime he was getting a fight, it looked like a completely fucking different wig, was the fact that every transition was like the worst possible After Effects CGI bullshit that was thrown on it. Like, it literally was like someone just like, oh, we need old-timey look, so let's just go get the poster eyes effect, throw it on there, make it yellow, call it a day, and just have the flippy transition every time.
Do you think the audience of this show cares, though?
No, I care, though. I care.
The one episode you'll ever watch of this show.
The commitment to the page turn transitions, though, was amazing.
We say that this is a podcast by indie filmmakers, so there.
Fair enough point.
Yeah, so yeah, you're giving it 5 shits? Yeah, I think that's
this
probably
was
safe
awful.
bet.
Like, normally I would give it to you guys straight. Like, just skip this one. It was fucking boring.
No, skip 90210 unless you're a big fan of the show. Do not just go into it blind like we did, like assholes. But no, you should check out this Walker thing.
The 90210 one.
Only if you're high or drunk, because then and you're with some friends and you can just rip this Walker episode apart. You know,
it's funny because this was like the opposite, because they made this show so outside of like the normal characters. It was a totally concealed, like self-contained story. You didn't have to watch the series to like enjoy this, which I think is funny. It's like the opposite, you know.
So
now, speaking of things John makes me watch every year,
piece de resistance. So
it's all led to this, folks.
Brian is rubbing his head right now.
I'm sorry, Brian.
He's trying to gather.
John makes me watch it every year.
Guys, I want to ask how something like this could exist. And on paper, if you've never seen this thing, a Ninja Turtles Christmas special, they were really popular. Makes a lot of sense. You have no idea what this thing was.
We're talking about We Wish You a Turtles Christmas.
We Wish You a Turtles
No,
Christmas.
it's We Wish You a Turtle Christmas. Not
yes,
turtles.
You're correct.
A turtle.
You're correct.
Christmas.
It is turtle.
Which I'm guessing
turtle.
it's Michelangelo. You know, because there's only one.
He's like the fun one.
Yeah.
He's the mascot.
He's a party dude.
But if you think about it, if
From what
We
I've
Wish
heard.
You a Turtle Christmas makes it an adjective. So We Wish You a Turtle-esque Christmas rather than We Wish You a Turtles Christmas, which would just simply be a Christmas full of some kind of turtles.
I think saying We Wish You a Turtles Christmas would make more sense because the show is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, I think it's aspirational because We Wish You a Turtle Christmas in that it has
Are we seriously
turtle
debating
attributes.
English?
This is fascinating. I'm just watching this go down.
Well, I always think that talking about English is interesting because it means different things depending on exactly what you say.
Wish you a Turtles Christmas. They say turtles in the song.
Wish you a turtle Christmas. Do they say turtles Christmas?
We wish you a Turtles Christmas. Yeah. And,
I think we're jumping ahead a little bit.
Anyways.
Wait, sorry. We like blacked out. Okay, so guys, this
you
one's
have
hard to get
understand,
through.
This is not animated. This is live action. And I don't know if you were a fan of this growing up. The movies, how they did a real good job on the puppetry in the first movie. The second one was a little worse. And then the third one was really bad. Imagine taking 10,000 leaps worse and having gigantic bug eyes that don't blink or adjust like in the movies, and the mouths barely move, and they are constantly smiling.
Full of teeth.
Like a clown. Like you wake up in the middle of the night and you see a clown in the darkness in your bedroom smiling at you. That's what their fucking faces look like.
Kind of sharp-looking teeth.
Yeah.
It is the cheapest puppetry ever. And yeah, there's these giant clown smiles and lifeless, non-blinking eyes like a rapist, you know what I mean? Like just looking at you.
Unblinking, unfeeling,
It's
unthinking.
the thing of nightmares, basically.
And
so bad,
the thing
guys.
of nightmares.
the production value, like, I want to say, like, how could they have made this? But I get it. Like, last minute to try to cash in, milk something out of that Turtles success. And, like, kids are stupid. So we are going to make these horrible puppet outfits that you can kind of clearly see where the neck begins and ends. And we're going to write the worst songs you've ever heard and the worst production value you've ever seen and just rush it out. It's like 25 minutes long. And kids
It's not even 25.
They'll see
It's blissfully short.
It's actually only 21 minutes
Blissfully
long
short,
because
thank
the
God.
rest of that 4 minutes extra, is all just fucking credits.
Yeah.
A lot of people worked on
They
this
had
thing.
to pad it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the thing is, like, kids will see it in the store and be like, "Mommy, I want that," you know, because it's the holidays. They love
Yeah, I
Christmas. They love
guess.
the turtles. thing.
I'll admit, I was that kid.
Yeah.
If
And
I
you
saw
don't-
anything turtles, I bought it.
The
And you
turtles
don't
were awesome.
realize how this is an abomination of God until you actually put it into the VCR after you already bought it at Sam's Club. You know,
It's always at Sam's Club. But yeah, this thing doesn't even really have a story. It's just a series of songs.
seems to be a pattern tonight.
Like a really bad song. So like these are horrible.
Guys, what's your favorite song? Mine is the Rat Rap.
That's mine as well.
Do the Rat Rat.
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's
I
mine
don't
too.
know. Are we talking necessarily about just the song itself is bad, or the circumstances and how we get to that song is bad? Like for me, I think when Michelangelo starts barking opera in the middle of Central Park for no reason,
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. So the
just
key is
because
they have to go out
The
and-
Santa that's sitting there is just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I don't think they had a permit, and that Santa was just probably out there, and he's like, what the hell is happening? Yeah, 'cause they have to go get a gift for Splinter, because none of them thought to get a gift for Splinter.
Because they're horrible children.
They're teenage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Horrible children.
They're teenage. They're a little selfish. It's all right.
Gotta get a gift, gotta get a gift, gotta get a gift, gotta get a gift for Splinter.
That actually might be my favorite song because it's like an original song and it's actually got like an okay tune.
You mean you didn't like the first song where not Donatello, but Leonardo starts talking Jamaican?
Oh, that wasn't okay.
Dick the horse with pepperoni, fa la 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 la.
You know, thankfully in this special, unlike the 90210 one, at least they were all in key. Like nobody was like flat, nobody was too sharp. Like at least they could physically
That's
sing.
the magic of pre-recorded music right
I mean,
there.
I'm glad they found somebody that could fucking sing it. So good job, guys.
You do know they weren't really singing, right? Like the
Well,
turtles
yeah, no,
weren't
I mean, I
singing.
know it was like like a recording.
They were
or
real
whatever.
turtles, Brian.
They were real turtles and they were really good at singing. It's all real. I just meant like whoever was singing, like they.
So
could
what
sing.
Brian was getting at is they just get up to, to Times Square, and like they're not even trying to stay hidden. Like the whole thing was like the turtles work in darkness.
They're
because-
in trench coats, John. That's their disguise.
because they're abominations.
I think that's Raphael's thing is trench coats.
It is.
Because the outside world will reject them, as
It's
Shredder
true.
said. And all of a sudden, Michelangelo sees a Christmas tree, and all of a sudden, Raphael says, "Oh no, here comes that opera guy again!" And we're all like, "What opera guy? This has not been introduced in any way, shape, or form. This has nothing to do with Christmas or anything else. They just got the cut back, and we're like, guys, this is only like 14 minutes. We need to throw something in here."
Yeah.
And so they did.
And we have some public domain opera music, so we'll just...
Plus, why the hell is Michelangelo wearing a Red Baron scarf?
I kind of loved it. I'm not going to lie to you. I loved it. I was here for his fashion statement.
I looked up and I think it was like they needed to have some way of differentiating between him and Raphael. Now I think
Yeah,
it's
because
just
their masks look similar in that light.
Wear
That's true,
red.
'cause they're under like a street light. Well,
One's wearing red, one's
what
wearing
was,
orange.
Brian, what was your reaction to this? Because I've seen this like 7 times.
My reaction to this whole thing was just befuddlement.
Right? Like,
I think that's the best word. I was like I was looking up after I'd watched this, just kind of some backstory on it, because I really want to know who the fuck greenlit this shit.
you want names, don't
I want
you?
names.
Guys,
You want to
this
know who
is
to
a
blame.
scam. It's a scam video.
Oh, I know it's a scam video, but I wanted to know who made the scam. I want to
Brian
know
wants
who
to
the
know
ringleader
specifically
is.
who hurt him.
Who? Yeah. I want to know whose ass I have to kick. But I surprisingly could not find much information.
About
who actually made it. And it's not the same costumes from Out of
Everybody
the
took
Shell.
their names. It's an Alan Smithy project.
Oh, it's not an
Basically.
Alan Smithy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, you and I had talked and said that they're basically the same costumes from Out of the Shell. They're not. They're actually worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can look at there's like...
Out of the Shell was a touring music thing that the Turtles did in the mid to late 90s.
I remember that.
And those costumes look bad. These are worse. So.
Yeah, and like you can see the wires in a lot of them, and like you can tell that the mouths, obviously, some of them were broken. Like the gears and shit, whatever the fuck was in their mouth, was not working.
Well, there wasn't a lot of successful movement, and that's what usually would sell the effect. But they're really
do you think
stiff.
they're going to pay to fix them? No. This is a scam
Right.
that we're going to throw on shelves so idiot kids talk their moms into buying it.
Right.
But yeah, the thing is, we say The Room would have been a bad movie even without Tommy Wiseau, but with Tommy Wiseau, it became a classic. This would have been a bad special even if they had had the puppets from the 1990s Turtles movie. Yeah. But I can't stress enough that what puts this over the top is these terrifying, horrible turtle puppet outfits.
We also haven't even talked about the damp rug costume that Splinter has to wear.
Oh, God.
He looks like something you...
Oh, God.
Have you ever seen a video of a koala bear when a koala's wet?
No.
Koalas are fluffy and cute and amazing. Yeah. When you see one wet, you want to kill it with fire because it is unholy looking. They are fucking terrifying when they're wet. That's what the Splinter outfit looks like. It reminded
me of lint that I pull out of my dryer.
Yeah, dude.
Like when I pull a big thing of lint out of the dryer and it's all mashed with hair and whatever parts of my shirts and pants. That's kind of what it looked like
all
it was
tied up
made of.
With a karate belt.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, there's Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, and lint.
Lint.
A giant thing of
Sensei lint.
Wait, guys, I think it's when a bird dies in the wrong part of town and it rains for 6 days and it just absorbs a bunch of garbage and dirt and rocks and water, and it doesn't even look like a bird anymore. It just looks like a bloated, smelly thing of feathers and just dampness.
Poor Splinter. He's such a dignified character, and this
Plus,
did not do
they also
justice.
gave him the worst presents of all time. They literally gave him
shit that they like.
Video games, 4 comic books, 3 skateboards, 2 something, and a pizza with pepperoni.
Yeah,
the fact that you know that much is horrifying to me.
But they gave him pizza that was in a frame.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because why not?
Guys,
right?
they're teenagers. They don't have this down yet.
When they return to the sewer, by the way, they don't fight Shredder or anything.
No, there's no Shredder.
Sorry, kids.
That's not very Christmassy, though, guys.
But when they return to the sewer, they do the 12 Days of Christmas, which is a shitty goddamn song. I don't care what context.
Oh, it was on the radio today, and I was like, no.
It's a terrible song.
But the thing is, they, in their infinite wisdom, if we just repeat all the same shots, we won't have to shoot more than once.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And so every time he mentions something and a pizza with pepperoni, it's Donatello turning to show
I saw that
the
too.
pizza at the camera. And they use the same fucking one shot 12 goddamn times.
It's really bad.
And there's a point during the song that Splinter fucks up, and they kept it in.
They were like, meh, we were fine.
He even says, I gotta better catch up, or I got that wrong. And they keep it in the fucking movie.
I mean, you said it in character, thank God, but they'd have even less of an explanation.
Oh, my God.
Which is not like he's doing it in the costume. Dude, this is ADR. How would he just not do another thing? No. Nobody has a heart in this. Just get it done.
Yeah, this particular special really hurt.
So then they give him all the presents. And,
and then somehow there's a bunch of kids in the sewer.
Yeah, I don't know why the kids are just hanging out in the sewer.
Because,
that does not seem sanitary.
Little kids want to see other kids, It's like
see themselves representation.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you. When I was a kid, liking turtles meant that I really wanted to go down the sewer a lot. Mm-hmm. Did you guys ever think of, if I open that manhole
then we saw
cover,
it and we were like, oh shit, I don't want to go down there.
I didn't see it until later, so I was well past the turtle face, but the whole time I'm just oh yeah, you just open that manhole cover, there's turtles down there.
Friends down there.
No, there's shit down there, and there's piss down there.
Disgusting.
Okay?
Yeah, those kids are just rolling in feces.
Ew!
And I think that's partially why, in the second movie, they moved him out of the sewer into that abandoned subway station.
Yeah.
Because they're if you're in the sewer, you're covered with shit and piss and used condoms and jizz. So yeah, let's not have you in the sewer anymore.
Yeah, when, hey, April, we're going to take you home. They're walking essentially knee deep in water. That's shit water.
That's shit.
Yeah. And April does not take a shower when she gets home. She just cooks some tombstone pizzas for them.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yuck.
But Jesus Christ, why the fuck did you make me watch this?
It is... Yeah, the best way to describe it is this is a scam. It needs to be seen once. Do not do it to yourself to ever watch it again.
You make Lane do it every year.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm a fucking deranged lunatic.
And you married him.
I did. He's taken, ladies and gentlemen.
But you will just watch and be like, oh my God, why? What? How? Huh? That song, wait, why did that kid get thrown down by the Ninja Turtle? Remember when there's got to get a gift? That part where the kid's like dancing with one of the turtles and he kind of like throws the kid off and he clearly falls out of frame.
Yeah.
They kept everything
Surprise violence.
I think they said, okay, guys, we got a permit for one night. We have to do everything in one take. And even if we screw up an ADR, that's it. We need to get this on the shelves in a week.
Yeah, I mean, that must have been what they had to do because it was so fast and so ridiculous.
It was very rough to watch, and the whole time I'm just like I was fortunate that I watched Doug Walker of the Nostalgia Critic, his review of this, because I had to go in with some point of reference to this thing, because I think if I went in there just cold, I would have just cried. Because
welcome to my world.
I mean, so I had an idea of what to expect, and I was like, okay, I got to watch the whole thing all the way through, and oh my god, it is. If you were a Ninja Turtles fan, and I think everyone who was a fan back in the day still kind of holds on to it a little bit. You know, that's why we get pissed off when Michael Bay takes a giant shit over our fandom. But
then we remember that everything about the turtles sucked. And we were just stupid kids.
Not
That's
the
not
cartoon.
true. The cartoon was the best.
The cartoon was awesome.
Have you tried watching that recently?
Not recently.
It's good, John.
But the first movie's really good.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
But anyway,
they
Brian,
did
you were
their
saying.
best with a movie about turtles.
My point is that, you know, when you see something like this and you're just like, this is the last gasp of a franchise that was going downhill, like as you said, it's the last bit of juice out of the franchise. This knockoff video, oh god, just hurt a lot.
It hurts me every year.
So what do you give this one? How many shits is this?
10 out of 10 shits.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It is horrible. It is fascinatingly bad. It's hilarious. And it's riddled with Christmas. I gotta say, unlike
it
Walker,
is very Christmassy. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's the middle of Nebraska in the warm season.
The warm season.
Yeah, there's Christmas trees and snow and Michelangelo's in a scarf and.
Yeah,
Opera's
that's not
kind of
Christmassy. That's not Christmassy. Michelangelo
Sure it is.
In his Red Baron scarf. It's not even like a winter scarf.
Like
it's a
his
Red Baron fucking scarf.
It's good.
Like he's gonna go on his biplane and fly around New York.
It makes me think of
Well,
Yuletide.
wait,
It's fine.
didn't the Beach Boys sing a song about Snoopy fighting the Red Baron? So he's kind of already in Christmas, you know.
Yeah.
No, you're stretching. Sorry.
10 out of 10 shits, though. That's all you needed to
10
hear.
out of 10 shits. Wow.
Yeah. You have to see this. Like, we are trying our best to explain how this is the most bafflingly ugly, bizarre, cheap, horrible, nightmare-inducing piece of crap.
And now we're
that's
going to tell
ever
you to
been
see
made.
it.
Yeah, but you have to see this for yourself. It's on YouTube. It's 20 minutes. It's a rough 20 minutes.
We
But,
apologize
yeah.
in advance.
You
just check it out.
Make sure that you're drinking while you're watching this. If you watch this sober, one, you're going to look at your phone every 5 seconds. I know I was. And two, you're just going to get angry that you wasted that much time. At least if you're drinking, you might, by the time it's done, be a little buzzed and might forget that you wasted 20 minutes of your precious time.
It's good. It's worth it once.
Yeah, it's worth it once. Lane, where can they find you at on the Twitters?
Find me on Twitter at LA_Croft. Do it.
John, where can they find you at?
The Unreal J. Wolves.
And you can find me at Brian Kyneton. We hope you've enjoyed our massive sack, or our 3 sacks
Massive 3 sacks.
of Christmas fails. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, at Psycho Show. You can also find us on the Epicast Network at epicastnetwork.com. If you have a favorite movie or question you want to throw away, you can contact us at cinemapsychoshow.com. Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. Send us a rate, send us a review. We love getting those. And be sure to catch our new episode available every Sunday.
Deck those halls with pepperoni. Fa la 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 la.
Happy holidays, nerds.
Epicast.